Hey guys, this is going to be my April rewind video where I show you the books I read in April along with my May TBR, where I show you the books that I'm planning on reading in May. And this is going to be much faster than normal because it's finals time and I don't really have time to be filming this video, but I am anyway. I did manage to read 5 books in April, which is really good because I haven't been able to do that in a really long time. But I lost one of the books, or I thought I'd lost one of the books that I wanted to read that I had in my TBR last month. And so I ended up reading different books, but then I found that book. But yeah, but I did manage to get 5 books, so that's pretty awesome. The first book I read this month was Vampire's Rule by Casey Blake, the first book in the Rules series, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read this month was A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks, and I gave this 2 out of 5 stars, the lowest rating that I've given in any book in like 2 years or something on Goodreads. And I really wanted to like it. I've liked 2 of Nicholas Sparks' other books that I read like years ago though, but I just really didn't like it, and I talked about why in my review if you're curious. The next book was Werewolf's Rule by Casey Blake, the second book in the Rules series, and I also gave this 4 out of 5 stars like the first book. Then I read Love Finds You in Paradise, Pennsylvania by Lori Lough. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a really cute book. It has Amish characters, which I found like really intriguing, and then the 2 main characters work at a wolf sanctuary, which I thought was really cool because I really love wolves. So it was like, it wasn't amazing, but I did think it was really cute. And then I read Shifter's Rule by Casey Blake, the third book in the Rules series. Also gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I don't like the titles so much. I read these books because the author had written another series that I really loved, and I was interested in it, even though I'm not big on like vampire books, but I ended up really liking them. They also have werewolves and shifters, as you can tell from the titles, and I thought this was going to be the last book, but it ended, okay, the end of the book says the end with a question mark, and it definitely is like, there could be more. Like, the main conflict of these 3 books was resolved, but at the end of this book started a completely different conflict, so I don't know if she's going to go off of that or not. I haven't seen anything about a new book, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for it because I really want to see what happens, because it started like a whole new conflict now. So yeah, but I really liked it. And now moving on to the 5 books that I'm going to try really hard to read in May, and once I get through finals I should have a lot of time to read, so it should happen. The first book is a book that I've already started reading. I'm on chapter 13 right now, and it's the X-Wing series, the 3rd book, The Krytos Trap by Michael A. Stackpole. This is the book that I wanted to read last month and couldn't find for a while. It ended up being in my suitcase, which is why you should always unpack after you go home for Easter. But yeah, I've read the first 2 books and I really liked them, and I really like this one so far. Then I plan to read The Sapphire Talisman by Brenda Pandos, which is the 2nd book in the Talisman series. It's been a while since I read the first one, and there are the 2 series that I read. I read the first book to both series like really close together, like several months back, and one of them was the first book of these, and then I bought the rest of the series and haven't read either one yet. Those 2 first books are like blending together in my mind, so I'm not going to talk about what this is about because I'm scared I'm going to get details from the other book blended in, but it deals with vampires. I'm almost positive it dealt with vampires, and I remember really liking the first one, so hopefully this one's good. And then I want to read Lights, Camera, Fiction, A Movie Lover's Guide to Writing a Novel by Alfie Thompson. I actually won this in a giveaway like a long time ago, and I had a choice of, but it was on a writing blog, and I had a choice of books on writing, since I don't know if you know this, but I want to be a writer, and this sounded interesting to me, like using movies to talk about writing, since I really love, like, I mean, I'm horrible at filmmaking and I never like actually go into it, but I love like watching like special features and stuff on how movies are made because I just find it really like interesting, and so I'm just like really interested in film. And obviously this doesn't really have to do with like filmmaking, it's just like the films themselves with writing, but I really like am really interested in movies as well, and so talking about them in connection to writing I thought would be really cool, so I'm like really excited to read this book. And then The Onyx Talisman by Brenda Pandos, the third book in that series I was just talking about, and I want to say it's the last book, but I don't think I've actually even looked that up. For some reason, I always think in trilogies, and I don't want to say it's the last book after what happened with the Rules series, but yeah, it was the only one, like only up to this one has been written, because I don't have any of the others on my Kindle, and I went through and bought the rest of the series. So I don't know if there'll be another one or not. And then the last book is The Back to War, book 4 in the X-Wing series by Michael A. Stackpole. And like I said with the first one, I'm really liking this series so far, so I'm sure I'll like this one too. And then if I get through this one too, then I'll read more books, obviously, but those are the 5 that I'm going to try my absolute hardest to get through this month. And I will see you guys later. Bye.